Welcome to Pocono Mountains Podcast, Season 2, Episode 16. I'm Jim Hamill. It was another great NASCAR race weekend at the historic Pocono Raceway at Long Pond. 3 days of racing, including the Xfinity Series race, Explore the Pocono Mountains 225, won by driver Noah Gragson. That was Saturday night. We had a Pocono Television crew there all day to cover all the action for families and fans during the day. And we wanted to share more about the Tricky Triangle in just a bit. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions, with 2,400 square miles of mountains, forests, lakes, and rivers. With historic downtowns and iconic family resorts, it's the perfect getaway. You can always find out more on PoconoMountains.com or watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, streaming live 24/7. Thanks for listening. We'll have a new episode of Pocono Mountains Podcast each week, highlighting lots of the fun things you can experience. Subscribe and leave a review and comment on whatever platform you listen. Now back to the episode. Brianna Strunk spent the day at Pocono Raceway, from the infield to fanfare to everywhere in between. The Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau was a proud sponsor of the Xfinity Series race ahead of the M&M's Fan Appreciation 400 on Sunday. Here's Brianna's story. Enjoy.
Which one did you like? The blue one? I thought you liked the M&M car.
The Kazel family drove 6 hours to experience Pocono Raceway for the very first time, where there's fun on and around the track.
Oh, they love it. All the excitement, the activities, the rides, the face painting. What else did you guys like? Everything.
Behind the grandstands, this expanded fanfare area is a big hit, with plenty of vendors, interactive displays, carnival-style rides, and games.
I'm excited because I really wanted to go on the rides again.
In the infield, the Pocono Mountains Activities and Welcome Center offers something for everyone, from crafts and science experiments for kids to morning yoga and paint and sip classes for adults.
We just have a good time. We really do. We have a good time with not just us here, but we interact with everybody. So, everybody seems to be friends.
Thousands of campers spend the weekend at Pocono Raceway, and they get creative too. These fans converted a school bus into a race RV. They built a platform with panoramic views of the track.
And it's the camaraderie of everybody getting together and friendship, and we've been doing this for years.
This place isn't just for race fans. It's also for four-legged family members and those who enjoy live entertainment. Another favorite? This inclusive playground, great for all ages and abilities. All these activities are included in your ticket, and kids 12 and under are free. From watching cars on the track to camping in the infield, fun is always just around the turn here at the Tricky Triangle.
It's a great time for everybody.
For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Brianna found a lot of fans enjoying all the activities all over the grounds at the track at Pocono Raceway. Even before the race, Chris Barrett had a chance to chat with NASCAR Cup driver Corey LaJoie about why the Poconos is so close to his family and how much he enjoys racing here. Have a listen.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris Barrett from the Pocono Television Network. We're so thrilled to have Corey with us today. He'll be racing this year at Pocono Raceway. And Corey, thank you so much for being with us. We were just reading some of your information. We found out that you met your wife here in the Pocono Mountains. That's so great. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, I'll save you the long story. She was living in Manhattan at the time, but she actually grew up in Mount Pocono. So definitely it's home for her. Her sister lives there, her grandmother lives there. So we get back a couple times a year to up there. So definitely love it. We stayed at the Kalahari. We stayed at a couple other places. The Skytop Inn is a really cool spot. We stayed as well. So yeah, anytime we get up there and hang out, make a vacation out of it, we try to get up there.
That's great. That's good to hear. But also, too, when I was reading a little bit about your background, I was really intrigued by the fact that racing's really in your family, right? You're the third generation racer, correct?
Yeah, so my granddad, Don, he's in the New England Auto Racing Hall of Fame, and my dad, Randy, was a 2-time Xfinity Series champion. So it was in my blood, and it's all, I grew up seeing in the shop and all the different stuff. So I was in a go-kart when I was 3 years old and kind of stuck with it and got lucky and caught some breaks. And now I get to carry the name on a Sunday afternoon, which is pretty cool. So I don't take that lightly.
Yeah, and I noticed that you made your debut in New Hampshire. What did it feel like seeing your grandfather and your father, then you, that first race? How did that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, just because I know my dad passed up with some opportunities to go cup racing full-time, and to hang out with my brother and I growing up on Sundays. And, that's why I really don't take for granted the job that I've been provided over the last couple of years. It's my 6th year in the Cup Series, and I'm trying to get in victory lane. It's a pretty tall task and pretty tough, but, I'm going to stick it out and keep grinding. And we bring some good cars to the racetrack here with Spire, and hopefully we can, bring a good one up here to Pocono, because I've got a trophy from there in the ARCA series. So I know how to get around there in the past, and hopefully we can, have a decent shot here this time.
So what do you like about Pocono Raceway? What do you like about the tricky triangle?
I love how all 3 corners are different. It's a challenge. You can't really get into a rhythm. You're always on your toes, especially the tunnel turn, man. It's super bumpy and tricky and sketchy because it's so fast. But a lot of stuff about the fans are rowdy and fun, super engaged and pumped up to have NASCAR there whenever we come in town. And the surrounding area is great as well. But the track is unique in itself, and usually the track does a pretty good job of getting the people in the seats, and it makes for a really fun weekend.
Do you think that the Tricky Triangle is one of the more challenging NASCAR tracks?
Yeah, for sure. Just because, the straightaways are so long, if you make a mistake in the corners, you really pay for it down those straightaways, especially that front straightaway. The draft comes into play as well. There's every factor when it comes to driving race car plays into Pocono. It's not like it lends its hand to short track driving or super speedway driving. It's really a mix of everything.
So the Camaro that you're driving now, tell us just a little bit about the vehicle for our folks who maybe don't know, love racing, don't really know too much about the mechanics.
Yeah, so it's a Chevy Camaro body on top of a new NASCAR Next Gen chassis, which is what they introduced this year to start. And common components for everybody. The way you set them up and assemble, it's a bit different, but everybody works kind of with the same chassis and components to try to figure out what the best setup is. And then it's a 358 small block, which makes about 700 horsepower, give or take. It's got 15-inch tires, 18-inch wheels, weighs about 3,600 pounds. So she'll move and groove for sure. So it's definitely a pretty fun whip to drive around the weekends.
So next gen, what's different about a next gen chassis versus the previous chassis?
Yeah, so actually the front and rear portion of the car bolts to the center section of the car, and the center section's quite a bit stiffer to protect the driver. And the way that the cars are built, they're a little more safer. They're a little more safe, but NASCAR wanted to kind of get that research and development of what teams developing aero components and chassis components down to a minimum, because there's not a whole lot of ways to justify the amount of money that the teams were spending. So they wanted to go to a common source supplier, which they did this year. And I think it's been going pretty good so far. I think we've seen 13 winners in the first 18 races of the year. So it's been really an exciting time for the sport.
Well, we're excited to have you with us coming up here at Pocono, and we're thrilled that you took a few minutes to just chat with us, and love to hear about the Pocono connection that you have and very, very close to you and your family. And we wish you luck coming up here at Pocono Raceway. I'm Chris Barrett for the Pocono Television Network. Thanks for watching.
In the 30 seconds
it takes you to click,
zip,
or just fasten your life jacket,
you or someone you love
could be saved from being a drowning victim.
Our rivers and lakes are something special.
So are the lives we will save by wearing it.
Please.
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 Wear it.
This message is brought to you by
the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission,
Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area,
first responders everywhere,
Upper Delaware Scenic and Recreational River.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm Jim Hamill. Now for a Pocono Mountains Podcast flashback from episode 16 of season 1, before that NASCAR doubleheader weekend at Pocono. Enjoy.
It's time for the green flag.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris. This is Ashley for PTN, the Pocono Television Network. We're really happy to be coming to you from the Pocono Raceway, also called the Tricky Triangle. What you're seeing in the background are thousands of folks coming in on race day, which is really, really exciting. And pretty soon, these stands will all be filled up, and the drivers will be hearing the accolades of 100,000 plus right here in the Pocono Mountains. So we're really, really excited about it. We've actually been here 3 days, and we've got a really good behind-the-scenes look at Pocono Raceway. And one of the things we really wanted to talk about is this is not just a race experience within itself. There are so many different things to do here. So for instance, if you have a family with children 12 and under, you can get in for free. There's a great playground here with a visitor center with all types of activities for kids that you can find out all about the region or stay right on property. You can actually camp here. The list goes on and on.
Concerts,
and on,
fireworks,
right?
you name it.
But one of the best experiences was Ashley had the best. So you got to tell us.
I had the most incredible experience with Tom, who is a pace car driver, right out on the Tricky Triangle. You have to check this out.
Hey everyone, you're watching PTN, the Pocono Television Network. I'm Ashley, and this is Tom. We're the Pocono Raceway. I am going to have the ride of my life, and guess who's coming with me? You're coming with me. Tom is our pace car driver right here at the Pocono Raceway. We are going to take a ride out on the Tricky Triangle, and we're going to let you know all about it. You ready?
Ready.
Let's hit it. Yes! All right, how fast are we going to go?
Not fast.
Not fast. Oh, I don't believe you.
Well.
I see a turn coming up. We are on a triangle.
We are on the Tricky Triangle. We're coming up to turn 1.
Okay. We have 3 turns.
What's the fastest you've ever been in a car?
Am I allowed to legally say 80?
Sure. There's mile-an-hour speed limits.
80?
In 80?
What are we doing?
We're not doing that fast yet.
Okay, well, my life is in your hands, so let's not...
We've got some people out here, so...
All right, so each turn, guys, is a different degree, and the turn itself is mimicked from another course somewhere else, right? So we have an Indy 500, we have, where else are they from?
The Milwaukee Mile.
Milwaukee Mile?
And I believe it's Langhorne Speedway.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible! Oh, we're so close to the wall. Tom, there's a wall. Oh my word. Guys, you've got to come check this out. I can't even believe it. How do you become a pace car driver? Please tell me your license.
For 28 years. A few years ago, they asked me to drive the pace car.
Turn 2.
Turn 2 is the Indianapolis 500 turn.
Indianapolis 500. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Put that in my credentials.
8-degree banking.
8 degrees.
Turns in Indianapolis.
Okay, we made it. How do you become a pace car driver?
I was thinking about that answer, and I think the reason was because I never hit the grandstand driving here for 28 years.
Oh my gosh. So, we're not going to start today either.
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
What is a pace car driver, though? You have to break this down for me because I had to ask. I actually had no idea.
What I do is, this is the ceremonial pace car. We take out the Grand Marshal, gentlemen start your engines, the race sponsors, and we take them out in front of the field. So that's what this pace car does. This is not the official NASCAR pace car.
But that one will go this fast.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here come the trees again. Oh my gosh. Tom, I have kids. Do you love this every time you do it?
Every time.
Every time.
You gotta love it.
Guys, there is just like this crazy mosh pit of emotions right now of adrenaline and fear and hope and excitement. It's all just coming together. Tom, this is so awesome. So Tom, thank you so much for the ride of my life. We made it, guys. Thank you, Tom. You're watching PTN, the Pocono Television Network. You just had to do it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You just had to do it.
Oh my gosh, that was excellent.
Do you guys like that?
What was that
I made
like?
it.
What was
I
it
made
like?
it. You made it. We did it together.
Now, I wasn't a
Did
chicken.
you like being
I
a
didn't
bystander,
chicken out. What?
Chris?
I didn't chicken out.
Pocono Raceway, an iconic part of the Poconos, and the host of next year's Great Pocono Raceway Air Show back in 2023 on Memorial Day, including the Blue Angels. Stay tuned for that and NASCAR Race Weekend also next year. We hope you enjoyed this Pocono Mountains podcast. Please remember to subscribe anywhere podcasts are available. Come visit us in the Pocono Mountains. Plan your trip today.